Hey, Boundless. How about some coffee? And I wanted to cover some points that you brought up, and it's gonna sound a little disagree-y, a little bit Earl doesn't approve, but I don't mean it to feel as anything other than I'd like you to give you my perspective, and not necessarily change anything, but maybe just think about what you've some things you've done and said, and look at it from a different angle. I don't think there's any harm in that. So I'm going to launch forward with my apologies if anything I say upsets you, because it's certainly not my intention. Some things you brought up, like porn, and not is porn cheating. Like, I could see an argument for that. I could see an argument that takeout food is cheating. I think that like porn or any kind of expression of sexuality should be done in a, like, as far as exploring your partner's behaviors, like looking at porn on the internet, any kind of expression of sexuality, that's part of who they are, and you're discovering it is an opportunity to accept it and encourage it. It's because it seems to me you want your partner to be just as sexual, if not more sexual, than they've ever been, and more comfortable exploring it than they've ever been around you. Because other than that, like, if you respond to anything other, and if you respond in any way that feels intrusive, like you're discovering anything on his laptop, or discovering something in a cardboard box tucked under his bed or something, that might, you'd have to be so careful to talk about that in a way that what you want is, tell me what you like, and I'm going to be a receptive, positive partner to you about it. But not like, well, just let me know every single time you, no, because that's, your partner shouldn't feel they have to report their sexuality to you. Their partner should feel that they get to share it with you. And so, because I mean, here's the thing: you want your partner to be more, and more everything they are, and not less. And so, and also, when you ask somebody like, why do you like wearing this one thing? Why does that make you feel sexy? You want that to be said in a way that allows them to eventually reveal to you more and more and more. Because typically everybody starts somebody off like, I like wearing this little thing. It makes me feel sexy. But that little thing actually is part of a whole outfit, which comes with a soundtrack and lighting and all sorts of like stage props, and you want to get to that point. You want them to reveal that to you because A, like, it might be fun, B, you might not be into that at all, and so the more receptive and open you are, not intrusive, and not you're not going to be going through his wardrobe and say, I found this locked in a box in the back, explain that to me, please. What you want them to do is get to where they feel they could tell you about it, because it's probably going to be something that they want to share with you if they want to share their life with you. So, yeah, all right, covered porn, not cheating. So we could debate that if you like. Second thing, dating. I do know about Match.com, and I've done it a couple times, and it is so rare to date a lady that actually is ready to date. And actually, when I went out dating, a lot of the ladies said, well, don't you want to ask me questions? But really, the only thing I wanted to know is, how long have you been single? And the only reason I wanted to know that is because a lot of the ladies I'd date, I'd find out that they broke up with their boyfriend that week. Or in one case, she was still married and her husband lived in her house. And I found that out by her accidentally saying that she tripped over her husband's boxes on her way out the door. And I'm like, you are so not ready to date. And so like that, I mean, that's the thing, like maybe a lot of these ladies, maybe a lot of the guys aren't ready to date either. And so they just want to go out for drinks and some flirting or whatnot. And yeah, but I think for anyone that actually is doing Match.com looking for their match is really intensely wasting their time. If you just broke up with your boyfriend, if your husband still lives in your house and you're still married, yeah, that's a little on the ridiculous side. It's an abuse of the system, is what it is. One lady, I really liked her too, actually. She tried me out a couple different times. Basically, what she was saying was she was open just to fooling around. And that's what she did. She had like a couple people that she fooled around with, and she was looking at adding to their numbers. And which I thought that was really honest of her to tell me early on, like the 4th date, because I wasn't into that. Like, I don't want to be a part of a stable. But I can imagine her meeting a lot of guys that would like, sweet, like, I would like you to be a part of my stable. Like, you'll be part of the 4 or 5 people I fool around with, and then you've got 4 or 5 people you fool around with. What's like being sexually connected to about 20 people? That's so cool. I'm like, ugh. Oh God. So, and then lastly is the hole. I know what you're talking about, and I could tell you how I felt like I had a hole in me once, and that things would fill me, and then it just feel like it drained right out, and what would be left was like this feeling of pain, this painful just hole in my gut and my heart. And I tried a bunch of different things, and I'll tell you what worked for me eventually was just living with it. I didn't try to cover it up or disguise it or distract myself from it. I just lived with it. And I think what eventually closed it for me was I kind of separated myself from everything that was in my life when that I had that gash in my spirit. I went and did some traveling and spent a huge amount of time with it and with that hole. And I could just eventually I could start feeling it closing, like quietly dealing with it in my mind was 10 times better than talking it over. Though I talked it over with some friends as well, but that barely helps. It almost kind of feels like what you're doing when you talk it over with your friends, just helping you define it. I don't think it helps you heal it, but I don't know. It might. But it didn't close until I just lived with it, made it a part of me, and eventually just kind of went away, and I was just left feeling kind of neutrally calm. And because actually I remember that hole made me feel a lot of everything. It made me feel like I had like emotional overreactions in all directions. Like that hole, like that was kind of sucking away other people's emotions, and my emotions also amplified them. And I remember I was just like, living with it day after day, week after week, month after month, and eventually, like, when it went away, I didn't have those extremes anymore. And it kind of made me remember what sometimes people say when they have they take medication to modify extreme emotional swings. And they said, sometimes I go off my medication just to feel those high highs. And I get back on my medication as those low lows come back. So sometimes that hole does provide some sort of fireworks show of emotion that sometimes, then after the bright lights, then it's nothing but smoldering pain. So, yeah, I don't know how else to describe it other than, you just got to live with it. And I don't mean have it sit over there. I mean have it sit right in your lap. and eventually it'll heal. Not because you're picking at it, not because doing this or that to it, but just because you're just sitting with it and letting it heal up and giving it time. And by giving it time, I guess that's the reason why when I went away is I couldn't really be doing anything else. I took care of basics and lived a life of as simple as I could, and then that provided like a long period of time for that to close. But it really was really hard, but it was so important, because you can't continue living like that, because it kind of invalidates everything people do for you, and invalidates what you do for yourself, because it won't last. Anything great that someone does for you, if it's just going to swirl down that hole, they might as well have waited. They waited until you fix that hole, and then when they do it to you, it counts, because it feels wonderful and it doesn't go away. So they're my thoughts. I hope you take them in a way that I mean them, with a kind of like a caring. I'm trying to be like a caring, helpful friend, and I don't want to admonish you or feel that I don't approve of anything that you've done, because because I've done those things. So I approve of it, because I know that that's a natural way to respond to things. And as time's gone on, at that ripe old age of 43, I realize that if I would have, I guess I've come to some different conclusions. I'm doing things a little bit differently, and hopefully a little bit more in a healthy nature. So Boundless, pleasure seeing the tubes. Oh, and thanks for having coffee with me.